Hey folks, welcome back to the lab. We are here with a lantern project, and this is interesting. So we got a little thing going on here. So what we have here is, well, this is a Pritchard Strong. This is a jobber. This is a Simmons Liberty jobber. And this is made by Pritchard Strong, same company that makes rail. Now, this needs some help. This needs a cap, and it needs a bail, and it doesn't need other things because this has no lift mechanism. And it has this little, I believe, this is a finger lift that also is a little match hole for a lightning. How cool is that? Yeah, so, and this must have been what they were hanging it from for who knows how long. But I have a donor, which is this here. This is a Rayo number 75. And so it's got a cap, it's got a bail, and it's got some weirdness going on. So that's why it's, first of all, it's got a dent in here for one thing. That's no big deal. But yeah, there's some kind of weird thing. I mean, it's not like something rust did. I think it's as if when it, I don't know, man. It's weird. The bottom, the fount is flexing. So that's kind of weird, don't you think? It's acting. Yeah, like the tin's too thin there. Isn't that weird? So that's the reason, because look at this. There's really no way I could reinforce that in order to make that stop happening. So this is solid over here. So weird. I don't know, man. Anyway, so these jobbers, yeah, pretty cool. So this is what we're gonna do. Gonna work on this, and then when time comes, we'll take parts off of here, and I will have some more rail parts. Oh yeah, okay. Well, this left mechanism won't be useful in anything else because it's unique to this lantern. Interesting. But I do have another 75 that I had already done that's in my collection, and I will look that over to see if that needs any part. And it looks like this had a flash globe, a flashed ruby globe in it that either just wore away or people tried washing it off, and that's what's left. Crazy, right? So these both have nice, sexy globes in there. So let's get to work on this, and this should be fun. And this is, I wish I knew just how old this one is with this interesting Simmons design here. So, okay, let's get to it. What do you say? Okay, well, my little Goodwill thing that holds my phone snapped. It broke. Oh well, but good thing I had a backup. Goodwill purchase for like, I don't know, $1.98 or something. So might be some different angles here. This one's a little bit longer. We'll see. Okay. Now, we'll come back to this. Let's see here. Yeah, get rid of that. If this was not, a modern wire, I'd probably consider leaving it on there if it was old baling wire or something like that. Okay. Ooh, I can use that inner core for something. Nice strong copper wire. We'll save that. Single strand. Yes. All right. So. Wow, look at that. Wow, that is legit, man. Look at that. Wow. Little match hole. It's covered up. Look at that. That interesting casting there. Kind of. Oh, that's cool. It's like the mold that it was in. See that? Okay. All right. So my phone rang. All right. So yeah, that's kind of cool. All right. So we'll clean that up. I don't see any reason why we can't put this sexy glow bright pack in there. Okay. So we'll clean that up. And this shouldn't, it's great. I can clean that up real easy. All right, so. That was put on backwards. Okay, oh boy. All right, so this is going to be a little. Well, luckily, there's no rust in there, so I don't think it's not going to be a rust problem here. It's just going to be getting some lube in there. I'm not going to force it for sure. And Croil, man, this Croil is the bomb for this kind of stuff. Put it on there, let it sit while we do other things. Oh, so that's the tank look. Oh, tank looks great. It just looks like, obviously, that this cap was missing, but we will have donor cap. Okay, so we got that lubed up with my tiny little luber here. And that paint. That is the question. Do I need to have? I need to get rid of some paint. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if that's paint. Well, we'll figure it out. We're going to go to the bench grinder right away and get rid of some of this messiness here. Get this baby cleaned up. So while we're doing that, that oil will do some penetrating there. And this is seized up, and that's probably why that finger lift is not working. So we'll get that. Because that had been sitting like that for, obviously, for a very long time. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. Hey, folks, check it out. Another, boy, 2 lanterns in a row with improvised wicks on the inside. So they had pinned a 1-inch wide, ooh, it's all dusty, 1-inch wide to, I believe, this is, I don't know, 5/8 or no, yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, how cool is that? I just had one, I just pulled out of a Dietz Buckeye, and they were smart enough, and they sewed them together with thread rather than put a pin in there. But I can see what they're using that for. They're just doing it for the wicking effect, not necessarily being able to use the hat, because look at the size of it. Yeah, pretty interesting. You know what people do when they're running out of, when they're in the field, and yeah. So I'm gonna go throw a little paint strip under. There's just a little tiny bit of some very heavy black paint left in a couple of little spots. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so while the I'm gonna let the paint stripper sit on there for a minute. In the meantime, we're gonna work on this globe plate and the tools I want. All right, I don't know where. Yeah, got that. We'll use that. These are really shot, but I'm gonna try them out anyway. That's 2 shot. These are new. Okay, so we'll start out with the junk bit, which always works great. Okay, so yeah, this has got black paint on it. Boy, that is some heavy stuff. But there's barely any of it. There's barely any of it at all on the lantern, but it's pretty thick. So we're going to take this over there. I kind of want to see where that's supposed to go. Interesting. Pretty cool. Look at that thing. So you move that way. Right. Okay. Well, so nice. The layers of whatever that paint was or whatever was layered on there. I thought this was going to be a rusty mess, but it is not. It's beautiful. Okay. So, and I learned something. So, this little thing here is not a lift for lifting it up. This has got no lift at all. That is stationary. It is locked in there. It is not seized. It is stationary. So there is no lift here. You only take this out and take the whole thing out. This is for lighting it. Right there. That's your little, that's your whole measure right there. Is lighting it right there. See that little hatch. How cool is that? All right, so I can get back to working on this because it's got less paint on it now. All right, so I'm gonna go to a wheel here so I can get in the corner. If there's enough meat on this to get in the corner, it looks like there is. Right. All right, let's get this. There's okay, just a little bit of work to do on that. And then we'll get on to this. Man, oh man. They're so cool. All right. Hold on a minute. Okay, well, boy, oh boy. So we're gonna go to a nylon bit. Yeah, we'll keep that out. Let's get that out of the way. Not gonna need that or that. I'll put that very cool thing in with my other relic weird wicks. But I'll do that right now before I forget. Here's one I found yesterday. This one is stitched. So if somebody got a hunk of shirt or blanket under there. A couple other ones. Here's another. This one was pinned like that. I got some more around here somewhere. But we'll put that in here. How great is that? All right. These are all vintage. So we'll throw something in there. Okay, so we're going to go to a nylon bit. I just loaded up a whole bunch of bits here, so I killed a number of them on my last project, and it was worth it. Okay, so we're going to give this a once over with this, and then we'll do some steel wool and some assembly, and then we'll start stealing from the other one. All right. Okay, I'm going to take a little break to get this filler cap off of here and get the bail off there and get the paint. Get the paint off it. I was contemplating maybe switching over the burner and things, but why? Let's keep it as original as we can. Now I just got to get this globe out of here. Wow, that's really pretty. Let me see how clean I can get this. I might want to plop that over here. Boy, that's like twice the weight of the one I just cleaned. Right. So, make sure I can get Okay, well, wow. Boy, oh boy, this has been a really great lantern week. And this was a flea market find. And I am now getting rid of the steel wool dust. Make sure that doesn't screw with are oiling it up, because you do not want that steel wool dust getting in your oil that you're treating with, or whatever you treat with, if you treat at all. So we are going to treat with this 10% kerosene linseed oil. And we're going to see just how different things look here when you add some oil to some Prisco steel. This great old American Rochester steel here. So we're going to oil it up and take a peek and see. Nice and dark. And you can see all the patina. All the patina is there, just coming back out. That's all. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful dark steel, polka dotted steel. And by the way, I love it when I get linseed oil all over my cutting board, because it's good for the cutting board. So, considering all the solvents and stuff that are in this cutting board, it's good to get it oiled up here and there. Let that stuff penetrate. So I'm not putting any of the oil inside of here, because linseed oil is not a lubricant. You don't want it in there.
Calling CQ70. CQ WA1H. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and Earn, Roll, Tuntus. WA1H, Yellow, Henry, Yellow, calling CQ. CQ75, CQ75, calling CQ.
All right, well, yes, indeedy. All right, so the inside of this fountain is a little wet, so I got to make sure we don't seal this baby up tight. All right, I'm going to do my little thing with my thing here, and just to get in the corners where there might be some loose oil. There usually is loose oil where my fat fingers can't get at. Okay, so here we are. We're all oiled up. Beautiful. And we're going to install a wick. I hope you enjoy your new home, Mr. Wick. There we go. Okay, so we have a wick. Wick is going in. New vintage wick. Plenty of wick there. That's a small fount. We got a year's worth of. All right. And that beauty goes right back to there. Awesome. I'm looking to see if the little notch here is a little bit lower because of this little match thingy here. I don't know. But, oh, so I noticed something. Oh, by the way, so here's our cap. Should go on there. There we go. bad. I'm gonna put on. They're not nice and tight, so the little threads. Nice. Like the tight threads on the Prisco stuff. All right, so that's in, and it's there, and all the assembly, boom. Well, that's pretty close. All right, because I forgot about this little bit here where there's a little bit left from the mold, and that's why I thought it was a different size. But anyway, this one is like twice as heavy as the one that came out of it. I'd say we put the heavy one in there because we don't need to lift it, and it's darn sexy looking. So let's plop it in there and see how it works or how it looks. Make sure we are seated nicely because this bottom lip could be a little much. Huh? Okay, let me do a little all right, so I know that this is a little off at the top. And I could tell by the measurements here and here. But I'm not going to mess with that. That's pretty tricky. I think this thing got smooshed on a little bit. Okay, and we got bail in. Very nice. All right. So yeah, so what you would do, you would move this little thing and light it. That's crazy. That's pretty neat. I would assume you'd probably want to do it from the back because it gets in the way of the bayonet. So let me get a match here. Let's test. I'm not going to light it. There's no fluid in it, but I want to see. Let's see. There you go. That's how you do it. So you'd probably want it right about there. There could be a certain way that little door works. Maybe that's supposed to go all the way the other way. I'm curious. Let me kind of look at that. Okay. All right. Well, it's the first time I've moved it that far over. Now I can fix that little spot. Yeah, maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Get it completely out of the way and then put it back like that. But I'm thinking that little lip there probably is meant to come up in and catch here. Well, I'm assuming that this little thing here wants to be up on here. That's what it appears to look like. So that stops. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? That's where it goes. But will it stay there? No, I probably won't. Well,
Your Q5, but not.
that's where it needs to be, right there. So because of that little notch, that tells you what direction you want to turn it, like that, to open her up.
You were like Q4 and a half. No, you're Q5. And there may be somebody else.
There we go. Okay, cool. I'm not going to mess with it. So, it's working just fine. Okay, there's a little amber color to this globe, by the way, which is pretty neat. All right, so I got the, I got a little microfiber on the glass. Good, all the handprints are gone. Let's come down here and take a look. A lantern with no lift lever whatsoever. There's your little hole. Well, there it is right there. Hey, folks, that's going to do it for me, man. This was great, and I'm loving my projects that I have picked up as of late, and they've all been just real beauties. Folks, here we are. That is it for this Simmons Liberty, and made by Prisco. So this is the same lantern as the Rayo number 75. And I'll bring it up here for one last look before we end things here. And you can see, yeah, that thing's pretty sick. But I have parts. I have parts if needed. There's just something weird with the fount on that thing. All right, folks, that's going to do it. And thank you so much for stopping by the lab. Once again, me and Supervisor Baby, thank you. And as usual, don't you go changing.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.